Paul writes to the Colossians in chapter 3, verse 16, "Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly as you teach and admonish one another in all wisdom, as you sing psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs with gratitude in your hearts to God." Word in this verse is translated from the Greek word logos, which here means the words of a living voice and implies having a continuous speaking discourse, which also implies the reader's involvement. We are to let that living voice and discourse dwell in us richly, not sparingly, but in abundance, not an amount just sufficient to get by. In light of this, we need to ask ourselves, does the word of Christ dwell in me richly? Not just talking about the Bible or Bible reading, but am I engaged in a living discourse with Jesus in an abundant amount? Maybe I'm engaged richly on social media with people I don't know, or maybe I'm engaged richly in a political discourse or ideology, all at the expense of the words of Christ to me. And when that happens, we run the risk of not receiving teaching, admonishing, or wisdom from others because they may not think the same way we do. I've heard it said like this: for us to get a better theology, we have to get a better we-ology. We can't walk out this journey with the Holy Spirit alone, but to do our part, we have to first make sure that we are not putting anything above our time of fellowship with the Lord. Dallas Willard said this: in matters of hearing God, which is more important, the individual's communion with God or the guidance of the community of Christ? And his answer? Both. Yes and yes. So for the sake of yourself and others, disengage from anything that keeps you from letting the word of Christ dwell among you richly.